What's up, YouTube? So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that it's about 33 degrees outside in Arkansas at like 10 or 11 a.m. It's a little chilly. But I don't have a whole lot of choice. Don't have another vehicle at the moment. It is occupied. But you know what they say, if you ask a real rider, riding season don't end until there's salt on the roads. Getting ready to go to Cycle Gear. I feel like I'm there just about every day, and in fact, I'm actually there so often the manager just offered me a job. Get her all warmed up. Ready for another 2-up again with my gorgeous fiance. She can't hear a word I'm saying over the bike. Isn't she beautiful? And she's mine. So we're gonna swing by Cycle Gear and pick up some glove liners for her. And she's actually wearing my old gloves, which are worn out so thin that, well, just look at how thin that is. They're ancient. I got these when I got my first motorcycle, and she's wearing them now because they're better. They're gauntlet gloves, and the ones she has are just cut off at the wrist, so they're better. Get our Sinas on here. I'm sorry. They're normally inside my helmet. I don't know why they're not. So I totally forgot my gloves, and my fiance is running back inside to grab them now. My bad. Thank you.
His hair is just like, look at it.
It's very cute though. Stylish.
Uh-huh.
So YouTube, today I wanted to talk to you about the follies of buying a new bike and explain what happened to me when I bought my SR400. I just felt a sudden urge to put on a seatbelt, and I have no idea why. Like, nope, that's not gonna happen. One of my followers on Instagram asked me a question about the Yamaha R3, saying he wanted that as his first bike, and he wanted to know my advice, you know, any tips or anything like that. And my advice is, the R3 looks like an awesome bike. The only problem is it's brand new, they just released it, and it's expensive. Motorcycles depreciate a lot like cars do. The biggest hit is after the first 5 years. So a motorcycle released in 2010 right now, or 2009, just had a lot of depreciation. And if you're looking for a used bike, you want to aim for something that's about 5 or 6 years old. Because of that, you'll get the best price on it. Now, if you look at something that's like 10 years old, now you're getting at really cheap bikes, but it's extremely hit or miss. So when I got this bike, it's a 2001, and it has all sorts of issues with it, and that's, I mean, it's a 2001, you know, so even people that take care of their bikes really, really well, they could still have significant problems with the motorcycle if they don't, you know, catch things early on. But my point is, if you buy a new bike, you're going to lose its value, and that doesn't really matter if you're, you know, buying a S1000RR or, you know, something like that, where this is a bike that you're never going to outgrow, and a bike that you're never going to, it's going to meet all your needs for a long time. Something like that, sure, buy it new, you know. If I get a leader bike, I'm buying it new, because I don't want to have to worry about there being any issues with it. But in the case of this guy, he's thinking about an R3, a CBR 300, something similar to that, an entry-level sport bike. And if that's what you're going for, don't buy it new, because you're going to outgrow it. Not everyone does, but most people outgrow that bike within a year or two, sometimes sooner. And when that happens, now you're potentially even upside down in this entry-level bike if you dropped it, and that's just not a position you want to put yourself in when you're looking to upgrade. Now that's a position I put myself in, because when I got my bike, it was an SR400, brand new, and I had no credit at the time. So in order to solve the problem of me not having credit, they decided they were going to put the motorcycle on a Yamaha factory finance credit card, which is a 25% APR credit card, which essentially fucked my credit just early on. You know, it looked to banks and it looked on my credit bureau as if I had applied for a credit card, received an $8,000 balance, and came very close to maxing it out in one day. The monthly payment on that card is $180. Just the way that it breaks down, $100 of that $180 is paying interest every single month, and $80 is going towards the principal. Meaning that if I were to pay the minimum payment on that for the full duration of like 60 months or however long it was financed, you know, however long they said it was financed for, it's just a really bad position to put yourself in. My recommendation is, if you're getting your first bike, buy a 5 or 6 year old used 250 to 400, somewhere around that range. It's not enough power that it's going to get up and get away from you, and it's not going to be so expensive that it's going to break the bank early on. Typically, if you get a motorcycle that costs about $3,000, in a couple of years, it's still going to cost about $3,000. If you get something that is, you know, a $6,000 brand new bike, 5 years later, it's going to be worth about $3,000. And that's just the way it is.